This is as real as it gets. The world still remembers that jaw-dropping Oscars moment when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, sending shockwaves across Hollywood and beyond. It wasn't just a slap.
Did you ever speak to Chris Rock after the slap? Because he's your mate.
Yeah.
I would have been straight on the phone if it was my mate getting slapped.
No, but
going,
I was in a sticky situation because I was actually,
It was a moment that sparked debates about professionalism, personal boundaries, and even the nature of public personas. Recently, Rob Schneider gave his unfiltered take on the incident during his appearance on the Kyle and Jackie O Show. What he revealed about Will Smith's actions and the Academy's response has reignited the conversation about this controversial event. Let's break it down.
was an elected official of the union at the time.
Oh.
Will Smith is a twat.
Oh, I
And
liked him.
Will Smith has been hiding the fact of who he really is, and it was exposed that night. That he's really an asshole.
But
he's a deep...
Rob Schneider's take on the slap. Rob Schneider didn't hold back. In his words, the incident revealed a side of Will Smith that many had never seen before, a side that contradicts the polished and positive image he's portrayed for decades. Schneider emphasized that the slap wasn't just an impulsive act, but a moment that exposed deeper issues within Smith's character. For years, Will Smith has been celebrated as Hollywood's good guy.
Dark thing to do that in front of all those people, and to a really great, legendary comedian who's literally the best comedian of our generation.
Sure.
You wouldn't have like this whole wave of comedy that came after if it wasn't for Chris Rock. He's kicked open the doors.
Charismatic, approachable, and inspiring. These are the qualities he built his brand on. But in just a few seconds, all of that was overshadowed by a single act of aggression. What really happened that night? Here's the sequence of events that still has people talking. Chris Rock, one of the greatest comedians of our time, made a lighthearted joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head, referencing G.I Jane.
So for him to do that, but I wasn't allowed to say anything at that time because we were part of the committee. I
Right.
was supposed to punish him.
And how do you punish him?
Wow, wait, and hang on.
I wanna know what
Will
the punishment
Smith is like, for me, when I met him, right, I always
Like
say...
the nicest,
yes,
the most wonderful. He's a
yeah.
liar.
Initially, Will laughed along with the audience. But as soon as Jada rolled her eyes in disapproval, everything changed. Within moments, Hollywood's most glamorous night turned into something straight out of a wrestling match. Rob Schneider highlighted this shift in Will's demeanor, pointing out that his reaction wasn't just about the joke, it was about something deeper. Was it years of pent-up frustration? Pressure from personal issues? Whatever the cause, the slap wasn't just about defending his wife. It was a public unraveling of emotions. The fallout. A shattered image.
Complete, utter fraud.
Really?
It was exposed in that time.
Okay, we all thought in that time, oh, he was under all this pressure, though. And
I
it was
didn't.
it was a
I've
been
snapped
under pressure.
moment.
The slap didn't just hurt Chris Rock, it damaged Will Smith's carefully curated image. For years, he positioned himself as a role model, someone who could handle fame and criticism with grace. That illusion crumbled in a matter of seconds. Schneider and others have criticized the Academy for their inaction. Instead of addressing the incident immediately, they allowed Will to remain in the audience and even accept his Best Actor award later that night. The applause he received felt like a slap in the face to the values of professionalism and fairness.
Oh, well,
You're
Kyle's
right.
been under pressure. You've been under pressure.
Interesting you say that about
No,
Will.
no. Will
because-
is a douchebag, and that's something that you can't. The thing is, that's how politically correct the Academy is.
Right.
That they were so cowardly. Because if I would have done that, they would have been hauled out to prison. Because like they were so worried about being, raised.
Days later, the Academy issued a punishment, banning Will Smith from attending their events for 10 years. But for many, it felt like too little, too late. Schneider described it as a slap on the wrist, questioning whether the Academy's delayed response was more about saving face than upholding their principles. Lessons from comedy and conflict. Rob Schneider also pointed out an important irony. Will Smith started his career in comedy. As someone who understands the art of humor, he should know that jokes, even personal ones, come with the territory.
Sounds sus.
My wife wrote it.
Yeah.
It's called Amor es Amor, and it's a nice movie actually. But the in Spanish, en español, por supuesto. But the thing was, I was in a car, and my assistant director, she looked at me and she said, she said, what happened? He said,
Instead of responding with wit or addressing the issue privately, he chose public aggression. A choice that turned an already controversial joke into an unforgettable scandal. Schneider wasn't alone in his critique. Jim Carrey, another Hollywood legend, expressed a similar sentiment. He noted that if anyone else had walked onto that stage and slapped a presenter, they would have been escorted out by security or even arrested.
Or whatever, they were like, we can't be. The point is, violence is what it is, and what the color of your skin or your religion doesn't matter.
Sure.
If you commit a crime in front of other people, you get hauled out of there.
Yeah, but didn't you also sort of think, oh, he's standing up for his missus?
But because it was Will Smith, the rules seemed to bend. Overshadowing the night, one of the most tragic aspects of this incident is how it stole the spotlight from deserving winners. That night was meant to celebrate the hard work and achievements of countless filmmakers, actors, and creators.
You didn't like that?
It doesn't matter. You can't hit another dude. If you're standing up for your missus, it's a joke. And
Instead, the headlines were dominated by Will Smith's actions. Historic wins, like Ariana DeBose's groundbreaking achievement, were pushed to the sidelines. Questlove's emotional acceptance speech was all but forgotten. Instead of celebrating these moments, the world was left dissecting the slap.
I also thought it was a very mild joke, and it was that
Quite a
she's
slap,
there.
though, right? Quite a slap.
It was so much. I literally was. I forget what it was because I wasn't watching it.
Final thoughts. So what can we learn from this? Rob Schneider believes that this wasn't just a moment of poor judgment. It was a moment of exposure. It revealed cracks in the perfect facade that Hollywood often demands from its stars.
Chris Rock just got slapped by Will Smith, and I said, "Get out of here! It didn't happen." I had to make the phone calls, and it did happen. He didn't want to talk to anybody. I don't blame him.
Yeah, I get that.
Standing up for your loved ones is noble, but there's a time and place for everything. In this case, the slap did more harm than good, not just for Chris Rock, but for Will Smith himself.
But also, it took him a while to get to where he could react to it because it was a lot.
You got to process that stuff, right?
Yeah, and he's a very sensitive, great guy, and he's really literally.
What's your take on this controversial event? Was it an act of misplaced loyalty?
Did you ever speak to Chris Rock after the slap? Because he's your mate.
Yeah.
I would have been straight on the phone if it was my mate getting slapped.
No, but
going,
I was in a sticky situation because I was actually,
Or did it reveal something deeper about Will Smith? Let's get a conversation going in the comments below.
So for him to do that, but I wasn't allowed to say anything at that time because we were part of the committee that
Right.
was supposed to punish him.
And how do you punish him?
Wow, wait.
And don't forget, if you found this analysis interesting, share it with your friends and keep the discussion alive.
And hang on.
I wanna know
Will
what the punishment
Smith is for me, when I met him, right? I always say.
Like the nicest,
yes,
most wonderful. He's a
yeah.
liar. Complete, utter fraud.
Really?
It was exposed in that time.
Okay, we all thought in that time, he was under all this pressure, though. And
I
it
didn't.
was,
I
it was a
thought-
I've been
snap.
under.
Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more insights in the next video.